Well, Rich, welcome. How are you this day, man?
I'm great, Coach. How are you?
I'm good. I'm fired up because of this interview. I love being able to take somebody whose story I know pretty well because we've been coaching for a number of years now, and I know you and I know what you're good at. And I love being able to showcase that. So the
Right.
the things that I wanted to ask you about, if I had to describe this video, it would be what you consider to be foundational to your leadership, right? I want you to be able to riff on that a little bit. I think the thing that I would want people to hear is that you've got what, 140 licensed salespeople,
Sure.
right?
Yep.
You
hmm
have lower turnover than the industry average. You have long tenure, and you have a significant number of like pillar level commitments that you talk about all the
Right.
time. And I think I take that for granted with you until I step back and realize that's actually really foundational to your leadership. So just talk to me a little bit about, like, what do you believe, man? What's this all built on for you?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the time, Bill. I keep it simple. You know me. I've got a lot of great ideas,
Yep.
but I really everything is built around four kind of my pillars, my
Yep.
disciplines, and it's about I always want to communicate properly,
Yep.
and that's in a lot of different ways. It's daily from me to the entire company with a message every morning. Sometimes it's inspirational, sometimes it's informational, sometimes it's a video. Oftentimes it's a video of me. Not that all of this is great to look at, but
You've gotten really good at video, dude. It works for
well,
you.
I dress up nice, but
You do.
um, with communication, which is my number one pillar, I want people to know why we're doing things.
Yeah.
I also want them to hear it from me and the way I react to it. I'm an emotional leader. Like, I'll well up if I know
Yep.
I believe in something, and I can get pretty excited too. But I think when they see me react or define something we're pushing, then it does sink in, and everybody watches video.
For
No one's
sure.
going to read a 2-paragraph email. They're going to watch
Right.
it. So video is, I believe
And
in that.
and to that point, having walked with you through this, there was a moment in time where you started with video, and the first one, I mean, you're natural, truly, but first one was probably a little rocky, right? So what would you say
It
to
was
somebody
terrible.
who's watching this going, yeah, I know I need to do it, but what would you say?
Well, you pushed me a long time ago. I think I did my first video in 2009.
Yep.
And, I look back on my YouTube channel and I look at some of those old videos and just go, oh, but I mean, it was getting out there and they've got a lot of views, and listen, it's all about what kind of information you're putting out there. Is it
For sure.
relevant? Is it helping somebody? And if that's
Yep.
the case, then, you've influenced somebody, which is all it's meant to be.
That's right.
So in that
Cool.
communication piece, there's just so many things you can do with communication, but
For
it's
sure.
got to be consistent. Everybody has to communicate. My entire team, all of our leaders, we communicate the same because of my second thing that I always focus on. And I say it's mine, it's ours now,
Hmm.
because our whole leadership team is committed to these four things. And
Nice.
the second thing is team.
Yep.
We promote a team mentality in our industry. It really works well for us because in our industry, and the mortgage business, there's a lot of pointing, right? Underwriting won't do this, closing's not doing this, and exactly, not my job.
Yep.
And when you promote team, you encourage people to work together. Processes get better. Communication is opened because you understand their role and they understand yours. They
Yep.
understand your pains and you understand their pains. And so that changes. Once that opens up, once you can talk to a department head and have a conversation that really makes change.
Yep.
Like, you're right. This is wrong. What I'm doing is wrong. You're right. What are your recommendations? How can you assist me? What can I do for you to make your job easier? If you have those type of relationships,
Yep.
it's a gem.
Yeah.
And in fact, this isn't meant to be an infomercial, but I do read this book. It's a
Really?
little beat up. It travels with me, and but there's
Nice.
the chapter 9 is about team,
Mm.
and it's about maximizing strengths, minimizing weaknesses,
Yep.
and multiplying impact. And
Absolutely.
everything that I mean, this was just validation.
Cool.
I read books to validate me. Like, am I doing the right thing? You know, at least from the perspective of the author, which you happen to be my coach. But I look at those things and I say, am I doing this? Or what am I doing like this?
Yep.
And if I'm not, I change. I try to adapt where I can and just make myself just 1 degree better.
I love that willingness to be transparent and sharpen that you have, Rich. Not everybody has that, particularly in a leadership role like yours. I think it's easy to get a little dogmatic and kind of just draw a line in the sand that you're not going to cross. And I know you draw your lines, right, from time to time when you have to, but your openness truly and your transparency as a leader, I think, is a big part of what makes that team communication work. So we got number 1 is communication. Number 2 is team. What's number 3?
Appreciation.
Yeah.
So you know that I stole this from one of our fellow Masters Coach members years ago. But I own it now. So, and my whole team, our company owns it, because appreciation, just recognition, beyond a thank you sometimes. Sometimes it's a simple thank you. But sometimes, I mean, we've gotten crazy. Like you'll see one of our people record a little message from their phone and send it to a closer. Like, you did a great job. You made me look like a pro.
So cool.
You know, it's those little things that let you get away with the stupid things that we do.
Right.
Oftentimes when we're emotional, upset, late for a closing, they understand you. They're open. They're like, hey, you know, they get you. And that's what I think the whole appreciation thing, it's so powerful. Like, if you don't have a mechanism in your company that allows somebody to share some appreciation with leadership, because if the owner, the vice president, the department head, if they don't know about it, it's one thing if I say, Bill, you're a great guy, but if I say, Bill, you've been such an impact on my career, and I put Daniel Harkavy in the, that it just means more.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's what we do. So
a couple of examples of that, Rich, that come to mind. One is you did this either a year or 2 ago at your President's Club, as I recall, where there was a moment where you called specific people out publicly in front of the rest of the group, which is huge. Number 2 is, I don't want to tell the exact scenario, but there was someone on your team that you wanted to have recognition, and you actually asked me to reach out and give that recognition. Yeah. And I just thought, that's a first for me. In 15 years of doing this, almost 16 now, nobody's ever done that before. And you knew it would mean something to her because we had connected, like we had some kind of a relationship. Mm-hmm. Genius. I love your heart for that, man. I love your heart for that, and the fact that you drive that into your culture. That's not just something Rich does. That's something you drive into your culture so everybody understands the value of that, right?
Exactly. And it really goes back to communication. So knowing I know that person, I know a third-party validation for that person would be huge, because I share love all the time, but sometimes somebody else recognizing, especially outside of the company or one of our referral partners or something, I knew that would be more impact because we talk.
Yep.
You know, if the one thing about me in communication is I have checkout calls with branches. I have a group of 8 or 9 people. We talk daily. Yep. Like, just as a, hey, I knew I'd catch you a checkout day on my
so cool
in the car on the way home. And that prompts me to maybe reach out to one of their people that they might be having a challenge with, or they said, he's doing a great job, or she's out doing this, and I will recognize them, maybe follow a Facebook Live video
Yep.
they're doing on topics in our industry, and I'll chime in and I try that stuff because
Nice.
it means a lot. And
But what I want people to hear is the reason you're aware of that is because you're proactively making a point to stay connected with key people so you can hear those stories and be
exactly,
aware and do something, right?
yeah,
Well done, man.
exactly.
How about number 4?
And value. So value means a lot to me, and when I'm talking to my people and what I bring to my people. If as a company, all of us, if what we're doing isn't adding value to their career, their time with my company, then it doesn't matter.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Let's not focus on, yes, we have policies, procedures, all that stuff. But if we're going to make a change in direction or pick a product to represent, to, be able to offer, what value, how much of an impact can that make? So what I'm on a daily basis, value is so important to me because I look at it, if one of my people leave my company,
Mm.
the value that we impart through that time we were together, I want them to feel that they're going to lose something.
I get it. Yep.
If they don't feel they're losing anything going to another company, I haven't done my job. All of our leaders haven't done our job right.
So good, man.
So those are the four things: communication, team mentality, appreciation, and
Yep.
a culture of appreciation. Everybody's doing it. And then value. And if I just feel like if we focus on those 4 items, because I'm simple, I'm a blue collar guy, right? I mean, I do white collar stuff.
I was going to say white collar warrior. Come on, man.
Yes, of course. And but what you do in that book, which is great, and there's a lot of this happening. The military, I mean, you talk about discipline and team and focus and commitment and all of that's there. And translating that into the business environment, it's no different. We're
right.
I mean, we're not in uniforms and, out there putting our lives on the line every day, but we're representing our families, our friends, our coworkers. I mean,
for sure.
The communication, the discipline, the commitments, all of that, it's so huge. But you have to make people realize that you're doing that. And that's part of communication, right?
Absolutely. That's a really great point. So final question for you, Rich, because I'm picturing somebody watching this who's a leader and maybe they're being sharpened, but the possibility of their pushback might be, I'm a pragmatist. That all sounds good, Rich. How does that impact the bottom line? I mentioned your average tenure up front. You might just want to speak to that real quick, but what do you think is the ultimate benefit of this structure, the way that you approach leadership?
Well, one, you build friendships. And when you can work with friends, I mean, the communication's opened up.
Right.
There isn't something that can be said that's really going to hurt the relationship. That opens up honesty and trust and all of that stuff. But it just keeps people with you. If they trust by the things that you implement and value every day, if they believe that, they're going to stick with you.
Totally.
I hate this term, but I guess we can use it now, but the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know, right? And the pros in our industry, they don't want to move. The only reason they move is because they don't believe in leadership.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that. I mean, if they don't trust and see value in what we're doing as leaders every day, then there's no loyalty.
Yeah.
We're not going to get through tough times.
That's right. And you've heard Daniel Harkavy say it before, that people don't leave companies, they leave leaders.
Right. Yeah.
Truth.
It's so true.
But conversely, they don't stay with companies, they stay with leaders.
And they stay with leaders often.
The other side of the coin is also true.
Yeah.
Well, Rich, you're a great guy. And I for all the joking that you and I do and all the trash talking that we do, and we do a lot, I really honor and respect the way that you lead, the way that you connect with people, the way that you lead with heart. And I love your humility and your transparency to always want to be better. I dig that. So I know that you touched somebody and encouraged somebody today. So thanks for taking the time out of your day to do that, and have a spectacular. It's obviously Friday. Bill's rocking a red shirt. So at the time
Remember, everyone deployed.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
You as well.